Okay. Mic check 1 2 1 2. I am the Y2K Collector, and I am back with a new video for you. Just want to talk about some of the shmups or space shooters that I'm talking bullet hell style space shooters that I've got on the Nintendo Switch. So I've done one of these videos before, but I figured since I've gotten a few more space shooters since the last time I did a video like this, I figured I'd do another one and kind of just show for those that really are into the space shooter genre of video games, if you really like shmups, if you're a big fan of bullet hell style shooters, the Switch is home to so many of those types of games, and I figured I'd share the ones that I felt like I needed to have in my collection, just because I have been a fan of space shooters since I played my first video game. I think it's just something about it forces you to think quick on your feet. You need to be able to react. There's just a lot of technical difficulty that comes along with playing a space shooter, and for some reason the challenge is just very appealing to me, and I'm sure it's appealing to many others. But without any more jabbering or blabbering, I'm gonna go ahead and get this started, because we do have quite a few. We have over 25 space shooters, and this includes imports, standard editions, and special editions, steel cases, just all types of good stuff in here. So we're gonna go ahead and get this started. The first one I'm gonna go ahead and show y'all is the Raiden IV times Mako. This is one that came out on the Nintendo Switch not too long ago. This was also out originally on the 360, Xbox 360. So this is a great bullet hell style space shooter on the Switch. If you get a chance to pick this up, I believe this is still available in stores. You can grab this for real cheap, about 29 bucks, I think, new. So pick that up. And then might as well follow that up with Raiden V. I've talked about this on this channel at nauseum. Y'all know about Raiden V. A lot of really cool goodies packed in this case. You got a booklet, a soundtrack CD, I think some stickers, a bunch of really cool extras come in this copy of Raiden, which is probably why it went from 15 bucks to 100 bucks over in under a year rather. So Raiden V, definitely check that out. That's the second one. I've talked about this one as well. Esperade. This is a bullet hell style import shmup. Really cool. Kind of has Castle of Shikigami feels to it. I think that's how you say it. If you've ever played that game on the PlayStation 2 or on the PlayStation, definitely check out Esperade. Really great. Just the colors on that game are really cool. Here's one that's going to be coming out. I think Strictly Limited is going to be releasing this. I went ahead and got the import version from Play Asia, but this is Rolling Gunner and Overpower, two old school style shmups that have been brought back to life, and that's what I love about the Switch rather. They're always just bringing back these great old school shmups back to life. So these are some really cool side-scrolling shmups. Definitely check out that combo pack. And if it seems like I'm moving quick, it's because we got a lot of shmups to get through here. This one is also an import, but it's a special edition. And if you've ever heard of First Press Games, or if you haven't, check them out. They've got a very cool shmup called Rival Mega Gun, and what this is like a competition style shmup where you pretty much are kind of just shooting down spaceships to try and acquire a special so that you can cross over to the other side of the screen where your opponent is and see if you can hit them with all of your super and special combos to win, I guess, the round. So Rival Mega Gun is a really cool space shmup. Definitely check that out. Talked about this one as well. This is a pretty cool one. Freedom Finger. I'm sure we've all heard about this. You're flying through space as a hand, giving the enemies the finger. No, you've got some pretty cool weapons in this one. This one this is a hilarious space shooter here. Freedom Finger. If you haven't heard of it, check it out. Pretty cool. Little crude, but definitely fun. Mako Unlimited. This is released by Limited Run Games. This is a really cool, very colorful shmup here. Fast pace, a lot of energy, bullets everywhere. The bullets are so big sometimes it's hard to see the screen, but this is a very fun game. Mako Unlimited. Here goes something This is more of a more common shmup. You could probably pick this up in the stores, and this is probably the least expensive shmup here in my grouping today, and this is Cinemar EX. Pretty cool shmup. It's nothing super special about it, pretty standard, but it's just a fun shmup, a cheap shmup, which is hard to come by. For some reason, it just seems like shmups are always so expensive, and Cinemar is a great way to dive into the genre without breaking the bank. RXN Raijin. This is also an import. This is an East Asia soft shmup. Kind of has the whole Mako Unlimited feels, but I really like the gameplay on this one. Very fluid. Just really like it. This is just another import shmup. If you haven't heard of it, RXN Raijin. Check it out. Pretty cool shmup there. Here we've got a few shmups. I guess this is a collection of shmups. In fact, that's what it's called. Smup Collection. This is from Pixel Heart. I got this not too long ago. I want to say I got this over maybe this summer. This has been out for a while, but I was holding off on getting it, and I said, you know what? Let me go ahead and add it. Let me try some of these shmups out, because some of them were looking cool when I got the download. I think I got the download version and checked them out. So Smup Collection, another great way to kind of kill a few birds with one stone. You get a bunch of shmups on that one. Here goes another kind of like compilation game here. We've got RType Dimensions EX. This is a strictly limited release here. You get RType 1 and RType 2 on this. And I think you can get to play those games in a special mode or with some special graphics, because these are rather old games that came out a while back when I was a kid. So definitely really cool to have that on the Switch. Here goes another series that the Switch has brought back to life. We have Darius, the console collection, or Cosmic Collection, console edition. And here you get a few Darius games, and you can see them right there. Darius, Sagaya, Darius Twin, Darius Force, Darius Plus, all kinds of Darius games. And you get to experience the joy of the Darius collection there. Next game up, we have Cotton Reboot. I actually have Cotton on the Sega Saturn. I think it's Cotton 2 that I have on the Sega Saturn. This is a very cool rendition of Cotton. The graphics, the updated graphics and sprites look great, and I would recommend you checking out this version of Cotton if you're into shmups. Next one up, this is an NG Dev game. Spoke about this one not too long ago. Razion EX. Very cool looking game. I haven't gotten into this one yet. Have not dove into this one, but it is bullet hell style. Bullets everywhere, colorful. This one has the background is colorful. Everything just looks real cool on this one. Excited to definitely dive into that. Okay, so we got through that first group. Now we have another group we're going to go through. Here I've spoken about this one before a few times, and you're all probably familiar with this one, but this is Caladrius Blaze. This is the steel case edition to this shmup. Very sprite based. This kind of feels a little bit like RXN Raijin, but very cool shmup here. You see the cover there. All right, and definitely would add that one to the collection. Caladrius Blaze. We've got a couple super rare titles here, right? So coming in, we have Steridan Binary Stars. I would recommend you check this one out. This is also a very good looking shmup, kind of cartoon sprite art style. Very cool. And that one's a super rare release. And then next up we have, also by super rare, Graceful Explosion Machine. Graceful Explosion Machine, not your traditional shmup. This one, it's kind of more of an exploratory shmup. If you're into that, feels a little bit more like Asteroids, but with a little bit more of an adventure feel to it. So definitely check that out, Graceful Explosion Machine. And now we're going to get into our small box limited editions and a couple big box limited editions. And we're going to get the small box started off with the classic Icaruga. And it's games like this that just make the Switch amazing, right? Because we're able to experience these games that only were out on consoles like the GameCube and the Dreamcast. And now we can experience it on the Switch with much better graphics. Just a lot cleaner look, at HDMI look. So I'm excited to have this one. And this is the limited edition version of Icaruga, which was published by Nicalis. Next up, we have the small box limited edition of RType Final 2 Inaugural Flight Edition. This is an NIS release. Great shmup. I love RType Delta on the PlayStation 1, played that. I think you have RType Final on the PS2. I've got that as well. Actually, it's right back there. If you can see it, RType Final right there. So yeah, so I'm a huge RType fan, and getting RType 2 was a great one to add to the Switch collection. Next up, we have a little bit of a different one. This is an East Asia soft release, Dimension Drive. So this one's a very cool, unique type of shmup that you've got there. I think you can phase in and out of different on different sides, or maybe I'm thinking of a different shmup. I've got so much of these that sometimes they start to blend together. But Dimension Drive is fun. I downloaded it and played it before buying the physical copy, just because I wanted to make sure it was something that I'd be into. Shikando is another limited edition small box released by East Asia Soft. This is a cool shmup that feels like Mako Unlimited, but it's a little too weird for me. Couldn't really play this for too long. It is a shmup, so I wanted to have it in the collection, but this one's a little weird. So let me know what you think about Shikando down in the comments, because this shmup is cool, but it's weird. All right, next up we have Power Rumi, which is another small box limited edition shmup from East Asia Soft. This one's one of the more inexpensive ones. Doesn't take away from the cool gameplay, the colors, and the fact that it's just a bullet hell style shmup that I'm a super huge fan of. So definitely check out Power Rumi if you haven't had a chance to check that one out. And then we also have Ghostblade, right? So I'm a huge fan of this shmup. I think the red ship, it works out best for me. I've made it, I want to say, maybe to the 4th or 5th level, but then after a while, this game just gets incredibly hard. But I do like Ghostblade. I've been playing it for a while, and I think you can get this on the Dreamcast as well. But I got it on the Switch just for the ease. You can play it a little easier on the Switch. Next up, we have a pair here. We'll start with the first one. And this is Sikayo Shooting Stars Alpha. So we've got a collection of shmups here. This is a special edition version here. You got a collection of shmups in this. Some really cool gems here. Some really cool games. You could probably see that there. So we've got Strikers 1945, right? We've got Dragon Blaze, Soul Divide, which is really not a good shmup. Zero Gunner. So there's a few classic hits on this one. And the Shining Stars of the Shoot 'em Up. So this is just a great way to package a bunch of great shmups in one. So that's that. And then you have the Bravo. Can't have the Alpha without the Bravo. So Sikayo Shooting Stars Bravo. And Bravo also has a few great shmups on it. As you can see right there in the cover, you're looking at Gunbird is definitely on this. Along with a few others, right? So you've got Gunbird, Gunbird 2, Tengai, which I've heard is a really cool game. Haven't had a chance to play that one yet. But some really cool shmups, right? That you probably wouldn't be able to experience outside of the Sikayo Shooting Stars compilation games. So yeah, this is the Sikayo Shooting Stars Bravo. Would definitely recommend this to anyone who is a shmup lover for the Switch. And then last but not least, and I'm pretty sure this isn't the end of my shmups. I've probably got a few more. These were just the ones that I was able to pull off the shelf that I could see right away, but I'm sure there's some others. But this one is one that I've talked about on the channel before. And this one I'm really happy to have. This was released by M2. Gonna step back on this one, but this is the Aleste collection. And this is brought to us by M2. This is a big box limited edition game. This is an import. I don't believe this was released in the States, but this is a great old school shmup. And the thing that I love about this is that in this box, the add-ons are cool. You know, most limited editions, you kind of get like a little sticker booklet. You get maybe some, like a, art book, maybe some stickers, a keychain, but not in this big box. In this big box here, what you get is a miniature Game Gear. You get a Game Gear Micro. You've heard of Game Boy Micro? Well, get a load of Game Gear Micro. And it even comes with this little screen here to amplify what you see on the small screen. Yes, all those buttons you can use, and yes, you can play this. It is about as big as you see on the box. And so it's really tiny, but you can play the original Aleste on that Game Gear. And I just think that that's so sick in terms of special editions to throw in a box. Don't get me wrong, I love my markers and my and I love my coloring books and stuff, but when you can get a Game Gear Micro as an additional piece in the limited edition box, that just makes it amazing. So definitely glad to have that, especially as a shmup lover. And so as you can see, I've got a ton of Switch shmup games. I don't just have shmup games on the Switch, but I've also got them on pretty much every console that I own, just because I really love the genre. But I'm interested to know what genre of games you like. What's your favorite genre on the Switch, and which Switch genres do you collect for? Super interested to know. Glad that I could stop by and give you an updated look at my space shooters. I am the Y2K Collector. Let me know down in the comments what you think or what some of your favorite shmups are, and I'll catch you in the next video. Take it easy.